Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Spanish Sling. Our main goal is to bridge the gap between Spanish and Singaporean companies and encourage economic relations between them. On our last podcast, we talked about the legal services sector in Singapore. This is why this week we wanted to dig a little deeper and give you more information on the topic. This is why today we're going to talk about the legal recruitment sector in Singapore, and we bring you a special guest today, a specialist on the field who will give you all of the insights on this field. So we welcome to the Spanish Sling Tessa Arquilliere. Hello and welcome to the Spanish Sling.
Thank you, Clara. Thank you for having me today.
It's a pleasure. So to give you a brief summary of your long career, you are a specialist on the legal recruitment sector and has been working for so many years in Spain and Singapore as well, and in law firms, and now you're the director of Ansa Search, that's right? So
that's
I'm sure you'll give you a lot of information of this field. Let's jump into understanding the legal recruitment sector in Singapore. For anyone who may not be really familiar with it, can you briefly describe the sector?
So, overall summary of the legal sector is that there are two major kind of lawyers. The first kind of lawyers will be the lawyers who practice at law firms, could be at international, local law firms, where each of those lawyers have a particular and specific area of expertise. It could be corporate, finance, capital markets, projects, real estate, technology, or dispute resolution. And there is a second kind of lawyers who are the lawyers who are in-house legal advisors for the companies that they work at.
Exactly. Which I think when we think about lawyers, we think about the first one. We may be thinking more of the first one. So it's really interesting to do this kind of division. So working in Spain and in Singapore, I'm sure there's a lot of differences between the sector. So which are the major ones?
So all of my working experience in Spain was working in Madrid for Clifford Chance as a lawyer, and that was it. So then when I came to Singapore back in 2014, that's when I transitioned into legal recruitment. So I'm much more familiar with the Singapore legal sector than with the Spanish legal sector, but there are two very big differences between Singapore and Spain. The main difference is about size. So according to the latest statistics from the Singapore Academy of Law, in 2021 there were 6,300 practicing lawyers in Singapore. In Spain there are 149,000 registered lawyers, out of which more than half of them are in Madrid.
Wow, such a massive difference.
So there's a huge difference in terms of size.
Yes.
And apart from size, there's a very obvious difference also, which is how Singapore is a real international and regional legal hub. So most of our clients, international law firms with headquarters in London or the US, they have a Madrid office, they have a Spanish presence. Those lawyers based in Madrid are servicing international clients but for domestic matters.
Exactly.
Whereas in Singapore, the Singapore offices play a key role within their global platform as a regional hub. So lawyers here are working with international clients, of course, advising international clients on their cross-border, multi-jurisdictional matters across all of Asia Pacific.
Oh, yeah, really big difference. So nowadays, of course, well, 2 years ago we had COVID, and I'm sure it shifted everything or our everyday lives, including the way we work. Has it influenced the sector, and in which way has it incorporated a new market trends?
Yes, so of course technology has become much more present at law firms. Law firms, especially international law firms, have invested a huge amount of their budgets into allocating the right resources, the right tools to lawyers to make sure that lawyers were able to work from home or from the office without any difference, without any impact into their daily roles. And of course we have seen also certain technology companies, not really law firms, but technology companies transitioning into a fully remote working arrangement for their employees.
Mm-hmm.
But still, the vast and the dominant majority will be hybrid models in the sector. You can work from home or you can work from the office. And an interesting trend that we have seen also, which has been accelerated after COVID, is how some international law firms here in Singapore have transitioned to open space offices. Whereas we, in the legal sector, we're not really used to that. I mean, traditionally, you're a practicing lawyer, you're used to have your own room, and now some of them are adjusting to the fact of being in an open space, and even some have actually the need to book in advance their spot in the office. So we're definitely seeing a change also in terms of how law firms are using their office space as well.
Yes, so for getting conservative ideas, I guess, right?
Yes,
now
definitely.
More open space, more so different, so modern.
Everyone moving to like the kind of Google model,
Yeah,
right?
Totally. And what is the current situation for the legal recruitment sector in Singapore?
So the so-called Great Resignation has been a way that we have seen affecting each and every of the international legal hubs. So it has affected New York, London, Hong Kong, Singapore, right? And actually last year, and that's according to also the latest statistics from the Singapore Academy of Law, is that there were around 500 lawyers that left the legal profession last year in 2021. And out of those, around 40% were lawyers that had practiced less than 5 years. So junior lawyers, right? And this is obviously like a huge concern for law firms, as this could be a huge issue in terms of their succession planning. And just going a step back, I mean, it's true that historically lawyers had only two potential career paths, right? You will go to law school, study, practice at a law firm for many years, and then consider or not moving in-house. That binary path doesn't exist anymore. Now lawyers have many other options. So we've seen lawyers recently transition into business roles, pursuing an MBA, moving into legal technology companies, even for dispute resolution lawyers moving into third-party funding companies as well.
Yes. So, well, we have a big problem, but we have to come across some solutions. So, do you know any solutions that we can do to solve this problem?
So we actually advise our clients many times about how to retain talent in the legal sector. And most importantly, we look at the younger generation. So millennials, actually, they prioritize intangible factors over compensation.
Mm-hmm.
And what are those intangible factors that millennials really care about? Mainly, first of all, really having ongoing opportunities of constant developing and learning. Second, feeling really identified with the values and principles of the company that you're part of. Generally relating to that corporate culture, and also having that work-life harmony with them. So sustainability in terms of lifestyle is key for millennials.
Yeah, exactly. So finally, to sum up, how can we envision the future of legal recruitment in Singapore? So millennials and technology, or in which two key factors are?
Yes, so definitely technology has disrupted all of our lives, every single sector, right? I mean, there is a technology revolution, and it also has affected obviously the legal sector. But it has affected the legal sector in a positive way. It's making the life of lawyers much easier also. So historically, you were working on a huge due diligence process. We didn't really have back in the time those technology tools that now lawyers have actually to make sure that they invest their time on much more exciting and intellectually motivating work. So the technology revolution has been extremely positive in the legal sector. So that's in terms of how lawyers really face their work on a day-to-day basis. but it also has affected in a positive way the way that they work, as we mentioned before, right? I mean, now you can work from home or you can work from the office. You can definitely achieve the same goals by either being anywhere.
Exactly, different setting. Yeah. So thank you very much, Tessa, because I think now we have a clear vision of the legal recruitment sector here in Singapore and internationally. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Clara, for having me today. Thank you.